Respect is not a request, it is a boundary. Most people spend their lives begging for validation, unaware that their constant yes is the very thing eroding their value. In the world of strategic influence, your power is not defined by what you accept, but by what you ruthlessly reject. Every time you fail to say no to the wrong things, you are effectively telling the world that your time, your energy, and your dignity are up for sale, and the price is usually zero. Dark psychology teaches us that humans do not respect those who are always available. They respect those who are difficult to reach, impossible to manipulate, and unafraid to walk away. To gain absolute respect, you must learn to kill the people pleaser inside you. You must identify the 5 critical areas where your silence or your compliance is being used against you as a weapon. Today, we are moving beyond the illusion of kindness. We are entering the realm of cold, calculated boundaries. If you want to be feared by your enemies and revered by your peers, you must master the art of the strategic rejection. Say no to these 5 things, or prepare to be a footstool for the rest of your life. The choice is yours, but the clock of your reputation is ticking. The first thing you must learn to say no to is the illusion of constant availability. In a society that demands immediate responses and 24/7 connectivity, being always available is often confused with being valuable. This is a profound error in strategic influence. When you are constant, you are predictable. When you are predictable, you are a commodity, not a resource. Understand this fundamental law of human behavior. That which is scarce is respected, that which is plentiful is ignored. Every time you drop everything to answer a non-urgent call, reply to an irrelevant text, or accept a last-minute invitation, you are devaluing yourself. You are sending a clear, subconscious signal that your time is worth nothing, and therefore, you are worth nothing. To gain absolute respect, you must create a vacuum around your presence. Your absence must be felt before your presence can be valued. You must protect your schedule with a ruthlessness that borders on offensive. Say no to the demand for your instant time. Schedule your availability. Force others to respect the limited nature of your access, or they will forever take it for granted. The second thing you must ruthlessly say no to is the validation trap. This is the deep-seated, often unconscious hunger for external approval that dictates almost every move a person-pleaser makes. In the game of respect, the moment you seek someone's approval, you have handed them the keys to your psychological prison. You have signaled that their opinion of you is more important than your opinion of yourself. Dark psychology reveals a harsh truth. People do not respect those they can easily influence with a compliment or a critique. When you are hungry for praise, you are easy to manipulate. When you are terrified of criticism, you are easy to control. Your no to the need for validation is a declaration of independence. It tells the world that your internal compass is not for sale and that your self-worth is not a public auction. To break this cycle, you must become comfortable with being the villain in someone else's story. You must say no to the urge to explain yourself, to justify your choices, or to apologize for your boundaries. True authority comes from self-containment. When you stop asking for permission to exist, you start commanding the room. Reject the trap of seeking approval, and watch how quickly the world begins to seek yours. The third thing you must learn to say no to is the burden of emotional responsibility. Most people are conditioned to feel guilty for things they cannot control, specifically the emotional reactions of others. In the realm of strategic dominance, this guilt is a leash. If someone can make you feel responsible for their sadness, their anger, or their disappointment, they can effectively dictate your behavior. Dark psychology exploits this weakness through emotional blackmail. When you set a boundary and the other person reacts with hurt or drama, your instinct is to soften, to compromise, or to take back your no. This is a fatal mistake. By doing so, you are training people that your boundaries are negotiable. and that their emotional outbursts are a valid currency to purchase your compliance. To command absolute respect, you must detach yourself from the emotional fallout of your decisions. You are responsible for being clear and firm. You are not responsible for how others choose to interpret or react to that firmness. Say no to the urge to fix their feelings. Let them be uncomfortable. Let them be angry. Your refusal to be their emotional caretaker is exactly what establishes you as an authority figure rather than a servant. The fourth thing you must ruthlessly say no to is the toxicity of mediocrity. We are social creatures, and our psychological state is heavily influenced by the collective frequency of those we allow into our inner circle. If you surround yourself with people who lack ambition, who thrive on gossip, and who celebrate small thinking, you are effectively consenting to stay at their level. Dark psychology teaches us that mediocrity is a defense mechanism. Those who are comfortable being average will always try to sabotage those who strive for greatness, often under the guise of caring or staying humble. They want you to say yes to their distractions, their complaints and their low standards, so they don't have to feel the sting of their own stagnation. To gain absolute respect, you must be willing to prune your social garden. Say no to invitations from those who do not challenge you. Say no to conversations that offer nothing but noise. Strategic dominance requires a cold, surgical detachment from anyone who drains your energy or blurs your vision. Remember, those who are respected are those who are elite. You cannot be elite if you are accessible to everyone. The fifth and perhaps most difficult thing you must learn to say no to is the sunk cost of loyalty. Many people remain trapped in disrespectful relationships, stagnant jobs, or toxic environments simply because of the time they have already invested. They believe that history equals obligation. This is a psychological trap that predators and manipulators use to keep you under their thumb. Dark psychology reveals that blind loyalty is not a virtue, it is a vulnerability. When you say yes to a situation that no longer serves your growth or your dignity, you are not being loyal, you are being a victim of your own past. Strategic dominance requires you to evaluate every connection based on its current value, not its historical duration. To command absolute respect, you must be willing to walk away from anything that cost you your peace of mind, no matter how long you've been there. Say no to the guilt of leaving. Say no to the what-if scenarios that keep you tethered to a sinking ship. Your ability to cut ties with the past is the ultimate proof of your power in the present. If it doesn't respect your future, it doesn't deserve your loyalty today. Respect is not something you find. It is something you forge through the fires of rejection. By saying no to constant availability, the trap of validation, the burden of others' emotions, the toxicity of mediocrity, and the hollow pull of misplaced loyalty, you have reclaimed the fragments of your power. You have moved from the shadows of compliance into the light of absolute authority. Understand that the world will try to test your new boundaries. They will call you cold, they will call you selfish, and they will try to guilt you back into your old submissive self. Let them. Their discomfort is the sound of your chains breaking. You are no longer here to be liked, you are here to be respected. The tools of dark psychology are now in your hands, not to harm, but to protect the sanctuary of your own worth. If you are ready to stop being a spectator in your own life and start commanding the respect you deserve, type "I am the authority" in the comments below. Join the San Wisdom Protocol and transform your psychology into a weapon of strategic dominance. The time for begging is over. The era of your rule begins now.